Welcome back. Now, amid coalition talks ahead of the 2027 elections, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has said he will continue to vie for the #1 office in the land as long as he is alive and healthy. In an interview with the BBC Hausa service last week, Atiku, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 and 2023 presidential elections, said only the people and the party would decide his fate for the 2027 election, adding that it was too early to decide whether he would vie for the presidency or not in the next election cycle. Now, his decision comes amid speculations that he was working on a merger or alliance now with Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, and other opposition leaders now to oust the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in 2027. Now, Atiku had also noted that his recent meeting with Peter Obi now could be a signal of a possible build-up for the 2027 general election. The 77-year-old Atiku, who will be 81 in 2027 for the country's next general election, also spoke about the current crisis in the PDP, calling on members to be united if they hope to win the next general election, especially the presidency. Well, let's discuss this further now. I'm being joined on the program by Diron Odeyemi, who is a PDP chieftain and, of course, has been a member of that party for quite a while. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, and thanks a lot for your time. Atiku saying that as long as he's alive and healthy, he intends to continue to vie for the presidency. And then if you look at his actions for the past couple of months now, you would agree with me to some extent that, well, it's very doubtful that Atiku would not want to contest in 2027.
Well, if we go by his statement, I want to say that he's being logical and he's being frank with himself by putting his ambition on the agreement or understanding or stamp of PDP and the members. He did say that his decision to contest is based on the final decision or final say of the party. To this, I will say when we get to the bridge, you will know how to cross it. But looking at it constitutionally, well, he has every right to contest. But you now come to a stage where the entire party members will have to sit down and consider how sellable Atiku will be if several years that he has been contesting, whereas we have never been successful as a political party. Though there are differences in the situation in which this failure has often come. But if you look at the past election, I want to believe that it was a great opportunity for PDP to win that election, if not because of the internal crisis. The bigger question now is, has that internal crisis been removed? Has resolution or genuine reconciliation, has it been made for anybody to now say, yes, if I contest, no, I'm going to contest, and the possibility of winning is there? No.
And the answer to that question is no. I just said the answer to the question you asked is no. The internal problem has not been resolved. Has not been removed.
How do you have the likes of Wike and his supporters, who are mainly the present members of the National Executive Council or NWC members, holding the jugular of the party, and you are not in total control and you are planning to contest an election? I don't see any reconciliation there, and I don't believe that this is even the time for anybody to say, yes, I will contest an election. I think the foundation is very, very wrong. It's very, very weak. PDP is in crisis. There has not been any genuine reconciliation done. And with Wike as a PDP member serving in APC, I don't believe we have that total reconciliation for anybody to say, yes, PDP is going to win in 2027.
Now, don't you think that, look, apart from Wike that you may consider is also is part of the problem of the PDP, don't you also think that Atiku is also a problem for the party? I mean, especially given what happened before the 2023 election, when no one had, I mean, not many people had expected that he was going to get the ticket or that he was even going to run. That, you know, the general expectation was that the PDP was going to zone the ticket to another part of the country. But eventually he ran, his name was on the ballot, he won the primary and all of that. So don't you also think that he is perhaps the biggest problem of the party? Because it appears he's finding it difficult to sacrifice his personal ambition now for the overall interest of the party.
You have just asked the question, and you know, I will only agree with you, because if you look at it, all what Wike has been saying is that you are cheating the South. It is the turn of the South to produce the presidential candidate of the party, and in a way, the northern part happens to win the ticket in person of Atiku. Then, if you look at it again, Wike hammered on the fact that you cannot have the North as the presidential candidate and the North as the party chairman. What we saw at the end of the day was there was no reconciliation. And what I am saying now is, well, Atiku is the major problem of the party, and Wike is also a problem of the party. And if these two fail to reconcile genuinely, I don't see anybody emerging in PDP and saying they are going to win election. So that is what I mean when I say there is problem in PDP and there has not been any genuine reconciliation. And not until that is done between Wike and Atiku, either of them putting aside their personal desire for leadership or presidential matter, then the PDP can never move forward.
Now, in the run-up to the party primary, presidential primary now in 2023, one of the arguments, probably the biggest argument now made by some members of the PDP from the North was that, look, the decision to zone the ticket to the North, through which Atiku now emerged, was because, look, after Jonathan, that the PDP had not produced a presidential candidate from the North, and that, look, so if you go by that argument, and that the South would appear to have had more presidents from the PDP, now, from the South, more PDP presidents now from the South than we've had from the North, from 1999 to date. So my question now is, going by that argument, don't you think it's likely this argument may come up again in 2027? The argument that, look, the ticket still has to go to the North because from 1999 to date, the North has not produced enough has not produced, you know, candidates who have gone on now to win the presidency from the North. So that the North is sort of shortchanged. That is in the PDP.
The way you are looking at it is quite different from, you know, the constitution of the party. In the constitution of PDP, it states that if you have the chairman from the North, then the presidential candidate will come from the South. We are not generalizing it as a Nigerian. No, we base it on the constitution of our party. And another thing is, you just have to be strategical about the zoning arrangement. And not only that, the personality of the candidate you are pushing forward also matters. In this arrangement, virtually all Nigerians in all the political parties believe that the South should produce the presidential candidate. And that was the reason why APC was able, you know, to produce their own, even though they are so lucky that the arrangement worked for them. But in PDP, it is expressly stated that once you have the chairman of the party from the North, in whatever circumstances, then the presidential candidate must come from the South. And that arrangement would have been all right if we had followed the constitution or the arrangement we put in place. But at the end of the day, it wasn't so. Agreed. We could still have moved forward if we had sat down to rearrange ourselves and make sure we satisfy all zones. And how do we do this? If now that the presidential candidate is from the North, let us produce the chairman, or let us move the chairmanship of the party to the south. But it shows that, some regions are ready to take everything. And that was the reason why we saw the likes of 5 governors working against the party. Now that we have found ourselves in this situation, has there been any genuine coming together of all these leaders to say, yes, we made a mistake in when we did that arrangement? Let us sit down now and re-engineer things and re-strategize against 2027. Nobody is talking about that as I'm talking to you. I happen to be a former deputy national public secretary of the party, so I know what goes on in the party. Nobody is talking about that, other than all the members are distributing themselves, along the side of either Wiki or Atiku, which will not augur well for the party in 2027. And the unfortunate thing is, the leadership of the party, the BOT, the governors, they are not seeing anything wrong in what is going on. It is we ordinary members of the party that are so much concerned that the journey of the 1,000 kilometers starts with a step. We are not moving any step forward. So for anybody to now say, yes, 2027, we are going to win election, I'm going to contest. I am a practical politician, maybe because of my background as a journalist. I don't deceive myself. There is problem in PDP.
Now, how concerned are you that some high-profile members of your party are actually leaving? If you look at what has happened in the southeast of the country and other parts of the country, some very high-profile members of your party have resigned. They've left the party. Look at, for instance, the former deputy speaker and former governor of Imo State leaving. There are so many of them who have left in recent times. How concerned are you by that?
Yes, that is politics. In politics, it's like a door that you can open inside and open outside. People will always go, people will always come. The issue of all the parties coming together to form, to speak with one voice in 2027, we take care of whoever is leaving. There are some people who are achieved, that is any government in power. Whether we like it or not, there are still some politicians that out of their desire to get position or contracts or whatever, because they cannot stay, a week without being in government. They will always go and come back. And when it is towards the election, when it is 2027 or towards 2027, there will be the new counting of numbers of people that are actually PDP members. This is the time for anybody to move and come and go. This is the time. But when it comes to the next presidential election, that is when you will know people who actually will belong to one political party or the other. As it is now, this is the system for anybody to move.
Let me quickly ask you this before I let you go. Do you see a potential matchup now or a potential merger or alliance, if you like? I think alliance would be the right word now, between the PDP and the Labour Party, particularly the PDP, particularly Atiku Abubakar now and Peter Obi. Do you see the possibility of a joint ticket in 2027? And if you do, then who do you think might be at the top of that ticket?
This is not the first time all these gladiators will come together and say, yes, they want to form alliance. Even before Tinubu won the election, we saw Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and all of them coming together. But after some time, they all went their different ways because of their personal desire to be the president. And I don't believe an average Nigerian will leave his ambition for somebody else. That is why I'm skeptical about the alliance or about the merger. It is easy to say before the election, but when the election is coming or few months to the election, you will see them falling apart. That is the problem. If not, Obi was the vice presidential candidate of Atiku. Why couldn't they reconcile before Obi went away and Atiku went his way? So if what did not happen then, or if the alliance that did not happen then, how do we now say, yeah, it's going to happen in 2027? I don't believe in that. I don't see it working, but I pray it works because Nigerians are not enjoying the APC, and they should. It is their coming together that we save Nigerian from all this misgovernance.
All right, Mr. Mr. Dinro Deyemi, thank you very much for your time. That's Dinro Deyemi, who is a PDP chieftain and, of course, a former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the PDP. We'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. Stay with us, don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
When you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.